Good evening all, and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. It's Saturday night, which means it's craft beer night. And the beer we're going for tonight is from a brewery you don't normally associate with craft beer. It's Timothy Taylor's. It's this one. It is Hopical Storm. And as you can tell, it's in a can, and it's from their craft line. It's described as a striking triple hopped pale ale weighing in at 4% ABV. The blurb on the side says, "Strike thirst. Unleash a tropical cyclone of refreshment with this triple hopped pale ale, topped with flavours of mandarin, mango, and passion fruit." And it goes on a little bit further and says that it's a cyclone of flavour and aromatics tamed by expert brewers in 3 stages of hopping at our independent brewery in Yorkshire. Cascade and Whitbread Goldings in the copper, Cascade and Chinook at the hop backstage, and then dry hopping with Jester and Ernest, all combined with a natural Knoll spring water, fine barley malts, and our unique Taylor's Taste yeast to create the tropical storm of flavour and aroma. Yes, it does say serve between 6 and 8 degrees. Mine's a little bit colder than that. I run my fridge at 1 degree. I like my pails cold. So I did struggle with this one. Did I put it in the traditional ale or the craft beer section? But because it is their slightly craft line, that's where it went. So without further ado, let's get it out into a glass and see if it's as good as things like their Landlord and Bolt Maker, which are exceptionally good beers. Pouring into my Teku glass, and the pour is pale, which is always a good start. Nice head coming on that. That will do. So we have an almost clear. We've got, understandably, a good amount of fridge haze, golden pale ale with a nice white head. A few more bubbles than I'd like on the glass, but there we go. And you see it's nice and cold. You can see the condensation forming already on the glass. It looks great. Let's have a whiff. Oh my, that's interesting. That is interesting. You've got that malt bill that shines. It's stereotypical of Timmy T's. You've got a beautiful, balanced, complex, sweet, fruity, slightly bitter hop profile on the nose. It's so nice. Oh. So nice. That is creamy, hoppy, tropical, subtly bitter. It really is quite nice. So, looks good, smells really good. See how it tastes. Cheers. I like. The body, light to medium. Carbonation is good. It's medium carbonation. Lovely mouthfeel. And obviously being cold, it's suppressed it. But what it has done is it's tightened up those flavours and really kind of made the bitterness punch right through. You've got unmistakable Goldings. It's got a slightly twiggy nature to it. And then you've got a real delicate balance of fruits. You've got the orange. You've got mango. You've got a little citrusy, lemony zest, like pithiness to it. Little hints of grapefruit. And that malt that just shines, really does shine. It's what makes pale ale great. That beautiful bitterness, that beautiful malt profile. And I know this is a hop dominant beer, if you will, hop forward. the hops are meant to shine, but the real star here is that malt bill. Ah, yes. It's like craft beer and real ale have got into bed together and made a baby. That's what you've got. Mm. The finish on this one is bitter, it's hoppy, it's long, it's delicious. So, let's give it some points. But before we do get my points, the scoreboard of joy says there have been approximately 6,000 check-ins, 9 from people I know, 3.39 across the board, 333 from the people I know. I think it's better than that. I do. But as always with the wisdom of crowds, it comes out somewhere in the middle, and it's probably about right across the board. But my scoreboard of joy for the looks, aroma, body, taste, and finish are currently void. Let's give it some. Start with the looks. It's a good-looking beer. It looks like a pale ale should. It's the right kind of colour. For me, I grew up with proper traditional ales, so my pales were more like this. They weren't sort of hazy for days. And granted, they weren't served as cold as this, because us Brits, we like our lagers and beers warm, apparently, if you are not from this country. But that's the right colour. It looks great. The head's great. The colour's great. It's wonderful. The clarity's great. It's having a full point. Aroma, like I say, on the nose, that malt just shines right through. You get that creaminess, you get that subtle bitterness, you get a slight twiggy nature. You get the orange, you get a little bit of mango. It's just a revelation on the nose. And they use the word tamed on the can. And going through my head when I read it was a case of, okay, we've maybe deliberately made it taste quite bland. But no, they haven't. It's what I would call an exercise in restraint. They could have gone balls to the wall with this one and made it kind of all about the hops, but I mean, it is all about the hops, but you know what I mean. They could have overdone it, over-egged the pudding, but it's great. It's a real nice strength on the nose. So it's having a point. The body is good. It is good. It's light to medium. You've got a good medium level of carbonation. The mouthfeel overall is nice. It is, however, the weakest point of the beer for me. I would prefer a little more heft, but we're nitpicking, so I'm going to give it the 0.75. Taste, though, bloody marvellous. Absolutely bloody marvellous. It's having a full point, and I'll tell you why. You've got a beautiful, beautiful malt that shines right through those hops, and for me, it is the unsung hero of this beer. Yes, it's all about the hops, but and they deliver beautiful fruits, beautiful bitterness. You've got that real genius inclusion of the Goldings with some of these more New World hops, and it, like I say, brings that marriage of craft beer and real ale together, and it just works. Beautiful strength on the flavour. It's just about right. The hops are, like I say, they are there, but for me, that malt is king. And it's glorious. Like I said, I've given it a point. And the finish, it does what a pale ale should for me. Namely, it's bitter on the back end, it's hoppy, and it's long. And it's having a point for that. So, it's got 4.75 out of 5, which means it cannot have the full bonus because it didn't get a full 5 out of 5. But value for money. But I pay for this about £3 in Sainsbury's. So yeah, absolutely value for money because it's a bloody tasty beer. Would I buy it again? You bet your bottom dollar I would, because it's delicious. I think that's served on cask, and I know that's slightly sacrilegious because it is a craft beer and it would probably end up being in a keg. But I think serving that on cask through a sparkler would be heretical, but it would be delicious. What do you think? So yeah, I think it'd be amazing. So yeah. Lovely beer, great beer from Timothy Taylor's. I've never had a bad beer from them. I should try and check out more of that line. Hopefully, they do more in the slightly crafty line. If this is anything to go by, they will be bloody amazing too. So we're going to leave it there and say That has been the beer. I've been me. Those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You've got your like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. And I'll see you again soon for another one. Bye for now.